Ever wonder if you can transform your language skills in just 30 days? It sounds ambitious, maybe even impossible, but it's a challenge worth taking. Imagine speaking a new language confidently in just 1 month. Sounds exciting, right? This is exactly what I set out to do with English. Whether you're starting from scratch or just trying to improve, the idea of mastering a language in such a short time is both daunting and exhilarating. But what if I told you it's not just a dream? I've always admired people who can speak multiple languages effortlessly, especially English, the global language of business, travel, and culture. For years, I struggled with expressing myself in English, which often left me feeling frustrated and self-conscious. The thought of communicating fluently seemed distant, but I was determined to change that. That's when I decided to challenge myself, to speak English fluently within 30 days. Why 30 days? It's a manageable time frame, long enough to make significant progress, but short enough to stay focused and motivated. In a world that's constantly moving, we often delay personal goals due to lack of time. A 30-day challenge is an intense, focused burst of effort, perfect for anyone looking to make a quick, impactful change. Moreover, setting a clear time-bound goal adds a sense of urgency and purpose, pushing you to commit fully. This challenge isn't just about learning a language. It's about proving to myself that with the right mindset and dedication, I can achieve something substantial in a short period. So, I invite you to join me on this journey as I navigate the ups and downs of learning English in just 30 days. Day 1. Setting the baseline. The journey to mastering English in 30 days starts with a crucial first step, understanding where I currently stand. Without a clear starting point, it's impossible to measure progress or identify areas that need improvement. Self-assessment is my tool to lay down this foundation. On day 1, I took time to evaluate my English proficiency honestly. How well can I understand spoken English? Can I hold a basic conversation? What about my reading and writing skills? These are the questions I asked myself. And to get an objective measure, I also took an online English proficiency test. Once I had a clearer picture of my current level, I moved on to identifying my strengths and weaknesses. It turned out that while I could understand written English fairly well, I struggled with speaking fluently and had trouble with pronunciation. My vocabulary was limited, and I often found myself searching for the right words during conversations. On the flip side, I discovered that I had a decent grasp of grammar basics and could construct simple sentences without too much difficulty. With this insight, The next step was to create a personalized learning plan tailored to my specific needs. I realized that to improve effectively, I needed a structured approach. My plan involved dedicating time each day to different aspects of the language: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. I allocated more time to speaking practice, as it was my weakest area, and included daily sessions for vocabulary building. I also set small, achievable goals for each week, such as learning 50 new words or holding a 5-minute conversation with a language partner. This plan became my roadmap, ensuring that every day was productive and focused on reaching my ultimate goal of speaking English fluently. Week 1. Building the foundation. The first week of my 30-day English challenge was all about laying a solid foundation. I began by focusing on basic vocabulary and common phrases, which are the building blocks of any language. I made it a point to learn everyday words and expressions that would help me navigate typical conversations, such as greetings, introductions, and simple questions. This foundational vocabulary would serve as my toolkit for real-life interactions. Next, I established daily practice routines that balance the 4 key language skills: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Each day, I spent time on activities tailored to these areas. For speaking, I practiced with simple dialogues, either by myself or with a language partner. Listening involved tuning into English podcasts or watching short videos with subtitles. I dedicated time to reading articles or stories suited to my level, and for writing, I maintained a journal, jotting down sentences or short paragraphs using the new vocabulary I learned. To make the most of my learning, I leveraged language apps and online resources. Apps like Duolingo and Memrise helped reinforce vocabulary through engaging exercises, while platforms like YouTube offered a plethora of content from beginner to advanced levels. I also joined online forums and language exchange communities where I could interact with native speakers and fellow learners. The cornerstone of this week was consistency and habit formation. I made learning English a daily habit, setting aside specific times each day to practice. Consistency was key. Even on busy days, I ensured I did something, no matter how small. This routine helped build momentum and kept me motivated. By the end of week 1, I could see noticeable progress, and more importantly, I had set a strong foundation to build upon in the coming weeks. Week 2. Expanding vocabulary and confidence. In week 2, the focus shifted to introducing more complex vocabulary and grammar. Having built a strong base, I started learning words and phrases that could be used in more nuanced conversations. I also tackled more challenging grammatical structures, such as conditional sentences and phrasal verbs, which are essential for sounding more natural in English. I used flashcards to memorize new words and practiced constructing sentences to solidify my understanding. To apply what I was learning, I engaged in practicing with real-life scenarios, like ordering food in a restaurant or asking for directions. This practical approach helped me see how the language worked in everyday situations and gave me the confidence to use English outside a classroom setting. I even simulated scenarios at home to prepare for real-world interactions, which made me more comfortable and less anxious when speaking English in public. A significant part of my learning process involved engaging in conversations with native speakers or language partners. I joined language exchange groups online, where I could practice speaking with people fluent in English. These conversations were invaluable, as they exposed me to different accents and colloquial expressions. The feedback from these interactions was crucial in improving my speaking skills and building confidence. Throughout the week, I made it a point to track my progress and reflect on improvements. I kept a journal where I noted down new words I learned, challenges I faced, and successes I achieved. By reviewing my notes, I could see how far I had come in just 2 weeks, which motivated me to keep pushing forward. This period of expanding vocabulary and confidence set the stage for tackling more complex language challenges in the weeks ahead. Week 3. Overcoming challenges. By week 3, I encountered some inevitable hurdles, including difficulties with pronunciation, grammar, and comprehension. Pronouncing certain sounds, like the teeth in thought or the R in river, proved challenging. Grammar intricacies, such as perfect tenses and passive voice, required extra attention. Listening to native speakers at full speed was also difficult, as I sometimes struggled to catch every word. To address these issues, I explored techniques for improving fluency and reducing anxiety. For pronunciation, I used phonetic exercises and repeated words aloud to master tricky sounds. Shadowing techniques, where I mimicked native speakers from audio clips, helped improve my speaking rhythm and pronunciation. To reduce anxiety, I practiced deep breathing before conversations and reminded myself that mistakes were part of the learning process. Incorporating fun learning methods made a significant difference. I started watching movies and TV shows with subtitles, which helped me get used to natural speech patterns and everyday expressions. Listening to music and singing along improved my pronunciation and vocabulary in an enjoyable way. Podcasts about topics I enjoyed made learning feel less like a chore and more like a hobby. Despite these efforts, There were moments when I felt stuck or frustrated. Handling setbacks and staying motivated became crucial. I reminded myself of my progress and revisited my goals. I took breaks when necessary, but always returned with renewed determination. Celebrating small victories, like successfully completing a conversation without major errors, kept my spirits high. By the end of week 3, I felt more resilient and prepared to tackle the final week of my 30-day challenge. Week 4, Mastering Conversational English. As I entered week 4, the focus was on mastering conversational English, the ultimate goal of my 30-day challenge. I aimed to bring all the skills I had developed together to engage in smooth, confident conversations. To achieve this, I immersed myself in various activities that closely simulated real-life interactions. One of the most effective strategies was participating in group discussions or online forums. I joined online discussion groups where people from diverse backgrounds shared their thoughts on various topics. Engaging in these discussions helped me practice expressing my opinions, asking questions, and responding to others in real time. It also provided exposure to different perspectives and a broader range of vocabulary and idiomatic expressions. To further enhance my conversational skills, I engaged in role-playing different scenarios. I partnered with language buddies to simulate various situations, such as job interviews, travel conversations, and casual chats with friends. This practice helped me build confidence in handling different contexts and made me more comfortable with spontaneous speaking. Throughout this process, feedback and corrections from peers or tutors were invaluable. I regularly sought feedback from native speakers and language tutors who pointed out areas for improvement in my pronunciation, grammar, and overall fluency. Constructive criticism helped me fine-tune my language skills and avoid recurring mistakes. As the challenge neared its end, I prepared for a final challenge or test to gauge my progress. This could be a formal language proficiency test, or an informal task like giving a short speech or participating in a debate. Preparing for this challenge motivated me to consolidate my learning, review key concepts, and push my conversational skills to their best. By the end of week 4, I had transformed my ability to hold conversations in English, feeling more fluent and self-assured in my speaking abilities. Day 30, the final test. The culmination of my 30-day challenge brought with it a mix of excitement and reflection. Reflecting on the entire journey, I took time to look back at where I started and how far I had come. I recalled the initial struggles with basic vocabulary, the challenges in pronunciation, and the moments of doubt that arose along the way. Each day had been a step forward, and now it was time to see the results of my hard work. To showcase my progress, I decided to create a tangible record of my achievement. I chose to record a video where I spoke about my journey in English, highlighting the milestones I had reached and the improvements I noticed in my fluency, confidence, and comprehension. Alternatively, I also considered writing an essay summarizing my experience, detailing the strategies that worked best, and the lessons I learned throughout the challenge. This exercise not only demonstrated my progress, but also served as a source of inspiration for future learners. Next, I compared my initial and final proficiency to truly measure the growth. I revisited the self-assessment I had done on day 1 and took a similar test on day 30. The results were encouraging. My vocabulary had expanded, my speaking was more fluid, and my understanding of complex grammar had improved significantly. This comparison was a testament to the effectiveness of consistent practice and dedication. Finally, it was time to celebrate my achievements and set future goals. Completing the 30-day challenge was a major accomplishment, and I allowed myself to enjoy the success. However, I also recognize that language learning is a continuous journey. I set new goals to keep improving, such as reading English books, engaging in more advanced conversations, and perhaps even taking a formal language proficiency exam in the future. This challenge had not just improved my English, it had ignited a passion for lifelong learning. Lessons learned. Reflecting on my 30-day English challenge, I gained several key takeaways that not only enhanced my language skills, but also provided valuable life lessons. One of the most important lessons was the significance of breaking down big goals into manageable steps. By focusing on daily progress rather than the daunting task of mastering a language, I was able to stay motivated and track my improvement incrementally. Another crucial insight was the power of persistence and consistency. There were days when progress seemed slow or when the challenge felt overwhelming, but sticking to my routine proved to be the key to success. Consistency in practice, even in small doses, yielded substantial results over time. This reinforced the idea that steady effort, no matter how modest, is more effective than sporadic bursts of intense activity. Moreover, the challenge underscored the importance of embracing mistakes as part of the learning process. Early on, I was hesitant to speak for fear of making errors, but I learned that mistakes are opportunities to grow. Each correction and piece of feedback I received helped refine my skills and boosted my confidence. Finally, I realized the immense value of immersive and interactive learning. Engaging with native speakers, participating in discussions, and applying my skills in real-life scenarios made learning more dynamic and enjoyable. It also highlighted the need for active rather than passive learning to achieve fluency. For those considering taking on similar challenges, I offer this encouragement. Start small, stay consistent, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. The journey may have its ups and downs, but the satisfaction of seeing tangible progress makes every effort worthwhile. Whether it's learning English or any other skill, persistence and consistency will always lead to rewarding outcomes. Conclusion. As I wrap up this 30-day challenge, I can't help but feel a profound sense of personal growth and accomplishment. This journey has been more than just about learning English. It's been about pushing my boundaries, embracing the process of learning, and discovering a newfound confidence in my abilities. From struggling with simple phrases to holding full conversations, the transformation has been remarkable. And it's a reminder that consistent effort leads to incredible results. Now, I want to turn to you. I encourage you to set your own language learning challenges. Whether it's mastering English or another language, the key is to start, stay consistent, and believe in your potential. Set a goal. Take that first step and watch as each day brings you closer to your dreams. The path may not always be easy, but it is absolutely worth it. Inspirational closing statement. If I can do it, so can you. No matter where you are starting from, the journey to fluency is possible with determination and the right mindset. You have the ability to make remarkable progress and achieve your language goals. I would love to hear about your language learning goals. Share your challenges and successes with me in the comments or on social media. Let's create a supportive community where we can encourage and motivate each other. If you found this journey inspiring, subscribe to stay updated on more language learning adventures, follow for daily tips, and consider joining our community for access to resources, practice opportunities, and a network of fellow learners. Together, we can make language learning an exciting and rewarding experience.